Yarn is a story. And a ball of yarn is called a clue. Nuts to you.
We are the reality distortion field. We are the reality distortion field.
We are the reality distortion fielding. I see. This is the mystery font. I am the host of the mystery font. My name is Tim Cameron. You are welcome. Here, in the font of mystery 42. I came here needing safe, quiet place because I needed to be able to listen to myself, to hear the voice that I might medicate or race away from, or race to fight, or race to crush. Not realizing it's me, that I needed to hear the readout. You know, Elon, we're programming ourselves, right? I think we're probably similar, you and I, in that we both have always been aware of how we are programming our minds. And we're pretty good at it. We can get better at it, though. And I think being able to sit down and make sure that you are ready to listen to the readout is important. It wasn't until I really found meditation a couple of years ago that I finally found control in that I could really self-regulate even in terrible circumstances, the kind that would have thrown me into panic or trigger or anger, and maybe lashing out or screaming. And when I saw the way that you, pardon me, like jutted your neck out, saying stop and saying expletives and using shocking, aggressive, smash it all then, shocking boundary violations and degrading people and degrading the idea that boundaries are acceptable to you, that boundaries are emotional blackmail. Wow. Wow. Wow, Elon, that's a lot. That's a lot, buddy. You know, it's time to talk. It's time to find someone you can talk to. Do you know that you belong? And do you know that it's not wrong to belong? That it's not wrong to be just one of the really smart people? You don't have to prove that you are the ultimate playboy. I think we can really like you if you can take some notes, you know, like any human being. Free speech includes reproach. And so snowflakes who are trying to indoctrinate humanity into this bastardized idea of free speech where reproach is censorship, that is disabling. That is disabling people's knowledge of what communication is supposed to entail with human decency and legality in terms of what we can say and should have the right to say. If you don't like being called a Nazi, Elon, then recognize that you may not like that you are a Nazi. And then in that case, you might need to repair some things about your relationship to human family and gift and existence. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't it make sense that, like, if a boundary, I mean, we know this, right? That, like, narcissists and dark triad predators would be, and it's okay to have such traits, right? But how do we pilot with our gifts and challenges? How do we pilot? How are you piloting? And how can people be friend and support? And how can people be here for you so that you can begin a good faith conversation? Because you're into fully Trumpian, I refuse to level with you as to whether or not I'm batshit of deplorables. It's not a good place to be. Andrew Tate is a role model for apocalypse. You're not trying to do that, right? It's just an accident that it looks like you're trying to be some kind of Hugh Hefner or Andrew Tate. It's really gross. It's gross. Like, it's really gross. It doesn't look good on you. It doesn't look good on anybody. And you don't need to do that. Isn't it okay to be as marvelous as you are? And, like, can you take a note here or there? I know, respectfully, we'd all like to see you stop publicly abusing your daughter. To be tanking a social communications platform as an assault on wokeness and punishment and excoriation and public shaming abuse of your daughter is reprehensible, really reprehensible. And I'm so sorry that you don't have anyone who can level with you without being leveled. Because it's okay if you want tufts of hair under your chin when you're spitting vomit at people to, play out a Lex Luthor fantasy or something. But let's look for cosplay that has C-A-U-S-E to it. If you are becoming something, if you are pretending to something positive, we'd like to see you go there. We don't want to see you foment apartheid retrenchment here. We need to deal with our American apartheid. Sir. And you will not stop us. Okay? You just don't get to stop the course of Christ's mission. The mission of many prophets, of many kind people. I'm not a Christian, but I definitely follow precepts and teachings of Christ. And he taught us to love our neighbor. That's something we need to be reasonably aware to do. We need to be woke. We need to be able to see what's going on and apply care. And rather than put names on people and jets and sharks, and that's how we start warfare. I think we just need something way better than the desolation that I'm really sorry it seems like you seem to think you deserve. Like, you can find better writers. You don't have to live a Jerry Springer, a sub-Jerry Springer apocalypse out. You don't have to be the I give up, I can't think of anything good, so I'm just going to like surf 22 shipping containers full of $100 bills. Like, you know, a shitty Joker cosplay burning $44 billion. Like, this vandalism, this is dark abuse. You're lighting a fire. What can help? And maybe chiefly, Elon, that's you. You are lighting yourself on fire, kiddo. Come on. You don't have to do that. And like, let's help you process this addiction you have to white supremacy. Because it's an addiction. This addiction to terroristic punishment and the Kodak of white supremacist patriarchal terror. How dare anyone do that to you? And how dare we see you as vulnerable and sad and terrified as you are? You are clearly terrified. You are clearly apeshit terrified. And that's wise. You are really making some big, big, big errors that harm all of us. So, you know, lean into feeling and trusting intuition when it says, I don't want to be apocalypse. I'd rather be Elon Musk. Like, whatever you are that's good is way, way more than awesome and cool and beautiful enough. But you are not Lex Luthor. And we also won't allow you to be. We are not going to allow you to be imperiled by that kind of vulnerability. Right? Because you're not in control. If that's where you're going and you're doing it with this kind of bombastic, frankly, pardon me, because you're a smart guy, stupidity. I mean, you're overwhelmed and blitzed. You are not stupid. I don't think anybody's stupid, but you are simply stupefied by whatever terror you feel you deserve. Because that's what you're spitting out into the world. You don't have to do that, right? You don't have to do that. Do you know that you don't have to do that? And do you know also that if you continue to do so, then people are going to tell you, no! Do you know that? It's time to know that. Now. It's okay to run into boundaries. It's not emotional blackmail. It's called relationship, where people have boundaries. Like you have boundaries. Consent. And don't you ever forget it, because it protects you, and we're not going to let that protection be taken from you by you rupturing it for human family. We would never let you do that, kiddo. We'd never let you play chicken with us. We'd never let you threaten us like that, like this, like you have. So punity is here. But really it's just the offer of kindness that you are clearly terrified you don't deserve. You are clearly terrified, like the weakest, most pathetic, frail, whack, squeezed dry husk that you fear you are. But you're not that husk, man. You're not that husk, human. So, Elon, we are going to there, where you leave behind the cancer of intolerance. We're going to help. You get help. I love you. You belong. And we love you enough to set boundaries. Kiddo, all right? You get boundaries. Yay! 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 Woo! Oh, that feels good. Wow. Hopefully that level wasn't super hot, but hot kind of hits the spot sometimes. They're hot and hot. Let's see now. Why, yes, I think this might be a good time to check in with who is the falsehood.
I made a speech. I looked out. The field it looked like 1.5 million people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
The new White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, gave his first press briefing. He was also highly critical of some media organisations of the way he felt they had misrepresented the number of people who'd attended Friday's inauguration ceremony.
No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
It does not excuse, and you did not answer the question.
I did answer your question.
No, you did not. You did not answer
did.
the question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood. Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
This was the largest ever.
You are in an abusive relationship. Shocking boundary violations are one common grooming tactic. Shocking boundary violations of a narcissist or
dark triad personality.
Shocking boundary violations. Sudden degrading
If someone
strikes.
in your life points into a camera,
Jagged
knowing you'll be
lashings
looking
out
at the
with a
view
jutting of the neck. A jutting of the neck saying, "Stop then."
and pulls their finger like a trigger, looking into your eyes, saying, I could shoot someone in the street and not lose anyone.
Shocking boundary violations.
It is a good indicator of a bad situation.
Declassified
You
with their
are
mind.
in an abusive relationship.
I'm taking the Sudetenland. I'm grabbing your pussy. Shocking
Has leveraged
boundary violations
and
meant
climbed upon
to sow
a
takeover.
of
Hitler
falsehood.
grabbed the Sudetenland and was appeased, and then took more.
Has
Who?
dawned
Has dawned
the falsehood.
the falsehood. Who
Is
is
the falsehood.
the falsehood? And what does the falsehood prevent? Joy. The falsehood takes from us joy. And we have joy. We are, in fact, each of us, an outpost of human genius. I like to play with radio, science, brain. It is a song poem. It is about to happen. And this, Elon, is for you. We'll see just how much I tailor it to you. But I'm going to take a moment and prepare myself to give you, Elon, radio, science.
The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually. The falsehood will tell you intuition's faulty. The falsehood will tell you
Facts aren't factual, actually. Apparently that is something the falsehood will tell you, Elon. I think you've been using language like that. You've been using a lot of, dropping a lot of big blocks of fairly terroristic gaslight. And, I mean, you know you're doing that. right? And I just want to say that what harm and wasting time in these ways obscures is what we actually can do. Humanity has so much to offer. Humanity. You know that, right? Sound. Oh, I missed the cue. But really, I'm just going to set up a source of illumination and start illuminating. This is something called Radio Science Brain. And today it is for you, Elon. You are the renovation of love's imagination. You know that, right? You do know that, right? That you are more than a brain. You are the dream awakened, parallel against pain, parallel not forsaken. You're the renovant sane, parallel against hate, parallel against pain, radio, science, brain. You know that, right? You know that we're with you, just like you're with us on this flight. You know that you're part of the day and the night. You know that you're part of how the wrongs are not right and how the songs have insight and how your life can hold light. You know that, right? You know that not far, far right, but just all right. It's okay. It's okay to be yourself. And we hope that that is real wealth. Do you know that? Do you know that yourself? Well, let's see, I'm going to try to reconnect. I'm going to try to reconnect this source to the, here we go. All right. Radio, science, brain. You are more than a brain. You are what your brain awakens and remain. This agent of change. Radio science brain germane. Activation come king. in this capable ace. Your aim, it bracing, it braces, it brace it. Campaign in your name, what you bring with your reign, from all brains to all brains. From all brains to all brains, we're part of incantation humane. Radio science brain. Come came to play. Musk say germane be nature. Your creature aches to make geranium of domain. Master only yourself. Elon Musk, just be sane. Radio science brain. Radio science brain, imagination aid, mind made this capable aim. Your nature, you ache your way. What may be nay today? What may have naissance, what may have renaissance, because your kindness and gravity came to play. In good faith, candidate humane. Radio science brain, you are a germane grade. Brain contain life's campaign. Like we all do, come through, you can do it. Kiddo, please, you know it's in you. Shake off this hateful dissolution. You are radiation. Benamed radio science brain, imagination aid, mind made. This is the germane gray, imagination may be game to play. Today the mind may be game to play. Today remain, the mind may be game to play today. Radio science brain, imagination aid, cantankerous candidate A, mind may be game to play. Today remain radio science brain. Imagination may be game to play. Today remain. This is the mindness made me contain. Activation, germane, radio science brain, imagination aid. This is the kindness came in case. Germane activation, foul germane. Radio science brain, imagination aid. Mind made this container germane, made my capital ace. Capital Ace, cast its space, time and place, radio science brain. Relay this activate. This is the mindness made this activate. This is the kindness came. I know you know, Jermaine. When you see it in the rain, from all brains to all brains, Elon Musk now be sane. Find gravity, find your humanity. Capital AIM, radio science brain. You are the sentient mind, it came to play. Today the mind may be game. Today to play, mind may be game. This activate knows your name. This is the kindness came and sates all aches and all thirsts be slaked. Radio science brain. We are the kindness came in case this activate needed sane germane dedication relay. Your nature, Elon, be creature humane. You are the mindless made life contain. A humane Elon Musk radio science brain. Don't play chicken with Earth or with your brain. You are the mindless made life contain. Something good only you would name, not cross out. Radio science brain. You are the science capable nature claimed. So be sane, show your mindness and kindness come came. Elon Musk, be humane. You are the dream awake. Radio science brain, imagination ache. Relay life remain. Capital active states of remain in love's name. Radio science brain. You are the mindless made it sage, amazing aim. You are the same radio science brain. Elon Musk be germane. Elon germane. Radio science brain. Capital Ace became. The mind is made relay from all brains to all brains. Pretend that love is sane. Pretend that came just came. Radio science brain. That was a pass-through radio science brain, Elon. A longer one. That's an earlier version. A good 10 minutes plus there. So that was for you, gentle kind sir. As if we knew that you were. You know, I have an idea. I think you're ready. I think you're ready for the next level in your life, Elon, I think that you're ready. And essentially what's happening here is you're capable. You're capable of these basic, like, human precepts. And it's time, buddy. Okay? It's time now. There are ways to calm down. There are ways to, like, assure yourself and not try to outrun yourself. It's going to be all right. Like, ask for help. It's going to be all right, Elon. But you need to ask for help in relinquishing the cancer of intolerance and hateful bigotry. Woke is love, Elon. Loving your neighbor as yourself. That is wokeness. It's just being aware enough to treat one another with humanity. It's really simple. And that you so aggressively, obsessively, and predatorily target wokeness. It is terrorism, Elon. And the answer is no! Okay? That's not an unmasking, buddy. I'm not wearing a mask. That's a boundary. You just happened while a boundary happened to you. Right? And it's okay. You know, it's actually all right. It's actually, I'm not even going to say okay. I think okay is co-opted pretty well by white supremacists a bit. So I'm going to say it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Because you, just like America, and certainly our children and students, you, Elon, are strong enough and have the emotional intelligence and fortitude of spirit to, with help, and even on your own, to look into the maw of the mistakes that humanity has made, and even those that you've made or lauded or benefited from or are trying now to re-cement benefit from. But we are going to take apart and process and heal our American apartheid, with or without you. Okay? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that beautiful that you don't have to do everything? And in fact, there are some things we'd probably like you not to do at all anymore. I think maybe it's probably good for someone else to deal with, technology having to do with the mind. Like, I think now it's probably really, really, really important for you to take care of your mind and work with programming your mind. That's a good idea, like a holistic, healthy, healing kind of programming, like learning self-talk that doesn't terrorize you, because you're really beating yourself up. You clearly, it may be on talk, it may be, it may be beyond talk, it may be just in the shrug inside of you that you feel that is a hand that smacked you hard 15,001 times too many, or whatever it is. Buddy, it's for real that, the audition for humanity of this character, this Andrew Tate character archetype, we're definitely not casting. We're not casting for that at all. It's abominable terrorist blurb of shit habit. We're not gonna let you indoctrinate or be indoctrinated in that kind of terror, buddy. We're not gonna let you We're not going to let you throttle humanity and train boys to rip consent from other people. We're not going to let you act like a really creepy guy who just bought the club and hangs out in the VIP lounge all the time. We're not going to let you harm human family. And, you know, just because it seems like these findings are maybe kind of news to you, I just want to make it really clear, you know? It's so important to be specific sometimes and just really set a boundary, right? That's important. And you know what? When people set a boundary with you, Elon, if you think that that's emotional blackmail, you may have a real gap between reasonable expectations and, you know, reality, or someone else may, and no one needs to get hurt about it, but it's good to deal with so that you're not being ruthlessly and terroristically abusive. Because, you know, don't talk to people like that ever. No one will talk to you that way, okay? So don't you ever talk to people like that again. You've met a boundary. You don't get to talk to people like that. And no, it's not okay to underline anti-Semitic BS on Twixter. No. Or Twixt, or whatever it's called, now that it's been crossed out by you like space. I think, Elon, it's important just to communicate. As I hear swim in the mindness and beneficial hokum of the mystery font, essentially the mindness and kindness here. I'll just bring it up because you should know about these findings. It's really important. This is exciting. This is exciting stuff, and you probably haven't heard about this, Elon. But it's breathtaking, and just frankly, just really, it's important news. That's all. It's just, you know, there are breakthroughs of many kinds. And just to solidify, because I know it's been really hard for you to find a definition for woke. But, you know, it's come through the processing units pretty cleanly. It turns out, interestingly enough, you know, that actually, just, you know, to be clear, woke, Elon, do you know, woke is the thing that you've been like terroristically railing on about, sort of like if you were a Nazi, which is what it seems like you're trying to tell us. It seems like you're trying to assert you just get to be a Nazi without having any of the repercussions of that, as opposed to us saying no, as opposed to us saying then you don't get to have power. If you are addicted to that terroristic bloodbath punishment, Jeffrey Dahmer as a legion kind of disaster, then yeah, you're going to meet boundaries. The answer will be no. The answer will be conservatorship or something. Like, we really will protect you, though. We really will protect you from the vulnerability if you can't control. You know, and that's why it's really important that you gain skills of like really being able to care for yourself, because we're not going to let you foment MAGA retrader greed. We're not going to let you, you know, harm people. It's just, you know, that's just like, you know, that's the news, is that you're not going to be allowed to harm yourself or others. Okay, Elon? It's going to be all right. And we have something going here that I would like to find. You know, Elon, I take inspiration here from someone you might be aware of, Fred Rogers, who, you know, I don't think was ever called woke, although he probably talked about waking up and going to sleep, and one time he woke up. And you know, Elon, when white supremacists, like it seems you're telling us you are, when white supremacists were pouring dangerous, volatile, toxic chemicals into pools to burn the skin of African Americans because they wanted to short-circuit integration and short-circuit communion across the artificial lines of race and caste like that, that we had pools and parks across America, just like we had vibrant black cities and communities and black Wall Streets, and white supremacists like you and the people that you have been protecting, you know, unleashed dams upon massacred towns and paved those parking lots into being where there had been pools where people could come and swim together and enjoy, share joy under the sun, and be in a park under the sun rather than standing in a desolate parking lot, not having space because they don't have a car. Or maybe they just wanted to go for a walk, but there's not a park there anymore. So amidst all that, amidst people pouring hydrochloric acid into pools that people are swimming in, you know, Ku Klux Klan terrorism, Elon, the kind that Hitler worshipped and inspired him to do his terrible, abominable, and truly reprehensible deeds that you seem to be supporting lately. So it's really important you understand that when Fred Rogers sat down with an actor and wonderful singer who was African American and playing a police officer, a neighborhood police officer in the neighborhood, that Fred was out in the front yard and he was gonna cool his feet on this hot day, and he said, "Hey friend, come on and sit down." And they bathed their feet together in the pool. A white man in his front yard inviting the black police officer to sit down and to take off his boots, take off his socks, and get in that cool water that he was filling a kiddie pool with, to say, let's share a bit of respite, let's share a bit of communion, let's share a bit of cool water together. And as they cooled their feet and sang together, the officer sang him a lovely song. And then Fred took a towel and patted his feet dry, essentially doing in some sense what Christ is purported to have done, cleaning the feet of someone to show that he loved his neighbor as he loved himself. That is wokeness. And you, Mother Falcon Crest, are advised you are not allowed to take us on a Nazi nosedive. It's not going to happen, and we're going to let you out of this alive. Okay, Spider Boy? Okay, Lex Baby? Okay, Ku Klux No Man? No Clan Man? Nope, not going to happen. we're woke enough that we're going to treat you as we would treat ourselves. We're going to treat you with kindness and love and see, wow, you're telling us that's what you think you deserve to be treated like? No, 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 no. Elon, nobody deserves to be treated like you've been treating people. Never. And you definitely, definitely, definitely don't get to treat people that way. All right, kiddo? Great episode. Well, good episode. Good episode, right? You had an episode, buddy. You had an episode, Elon. I mean, you've been featured before, but I mean, this is like an entire episode of Mystery Font 42 Ope INTUIT for you, Elon. This is an episode for you. Did you know that? Yeah, buddy. Like, I mean, wow. Well, like heck to the wowzers times there, Guile. Like, whoa. That and that, yeah. Right? There we go. Look at that. Yes. Way to go, man. You have arrived, Elon. Look at that, dude. That is nothing to sneeze at. Do you know how few so far? I wouldn't have expected that. But hey, credit where credit's due. You matter enough. And not just because of your wealth and power. You matter enough that someone needs to make sure you're all right. People should be checking in on you and making sure you're actually all right, Like, cultivate friends. Cultivate friends who aren't going to let you hurt them. Cultivate friends who aren't going to let you hurt you. Yeah? Awesome. I think a good way to... Where are we here? There we go. Nice. This feels pretty good. I think, we're on to something here. We're definitely, there's a good, now where did it go? Where did I just put it? Where did I put it? Where are you? There's the thing, I'm gonna pull it down through. Ooh. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Wow. Well, see? Elon Musk, you're woke. Wow. It's happening. You know what? It's okay. You don't have to be woke all at once. And the thing is, it's just a process of working to be awake enough that we're woke enough that we can, hear critique and not lose our shit, dude. Like, not lash out like a cobra in the body of a turtle with a fused ribcage and no hope and ultimate pain and suffering and doubt. You don't have to doubt. You don't have to have that pain. And you definitely don't get to take it out. And you don't get to take it out on the brain. Like, you're causing brain trauma. This is... Traumatic brain injury comes from the kind of abuse that you've been pushing into the world. You know that, right? Literally no technology or anything that you've done will ever justify that. And so, really, if you don't want to be shut down, it's time to find kindness. It's so good for you. I think you're going to realize that you can be the one to stop your mouth from biting people. or harming people or terrorizing people. Even yourself, you don't have to live in the terror spectrum. You do not have to live in fear of Nazis and so therefore to become one. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be vitriol and hopelessness. All right? Have hope. It takes hope, and it's painful to have hope. It's painful to have hope because we see the gap. It's painful to wake up and feel alone. It's painful to wake up and feel there's not enough. And there is. And we can help each other. We're a humanity together. We're a kindness. Come. And I'm going to share with you. Oh yes, that's right. So I need to let you know, because the findings are this. If you wanted to know, like, what is woke, Elon, because we've found some things out here about what's going on there. In fact, woke, Elon, you're still having an episode, but we're gonna do something like that. Yeah, there you go. So, see, this is it. Woke is awareness of and for human kindness. All right, Elon? So let's like take this going forward. This is really useful for you to know and memorize, and feel free, just like working with Darvo and realizing that that's probably something you're abusing yourself and other people with, and you can, release that, now. Be aware of this. Woke is awareness of and for human kindness and dignity. Okay? Woke is awareness of and for human kindness and dignity. That's really where we're at. That's exactly where we're at. That's humankind, and you're one of your own kind. Just like I am, just like we all are, just like your trans daughter is. We're all on one spectrum with every symptom. Just like you, Elon Musk, are a kindness. Come. So, woke is awareness of and for human dignity. Awareness of and for human kindness and dignity. Woke is awareness of and for human kindness and dignity. Well, there are different ways to say it, but that's what's on the screen here that I think is well said. It's a good thing to be. Woke is a good thing to be. Let's just make that really clear. Like, it's okay for you to have convinced yourself of this really massive lie, to abuse and terrorize and like shock people of, your horrific violence with. But yeah, that shocking boundary violation, like, you're definitely going to throw that down the toilet now. That idea of that boundary violation and that kind of stuff, like, that should be, that's violence. Do you understand that that's violence? Okay? So the thing is, like, Bill Maher really did a huge disservice to humanity in being part of, like, lowest possible common denominator, playground bully mentality, hazing, abusive, predatory, like, let's reify and re-cement white supremacist patriarchal terror in a comfortable veneer by saying that PC was about political correctness and essentially like dealing with like an alt-right opinion. When that's just buffoonery. That's like talking about kindness through the lens of Breitbart or the WWE or something, when I mean, that's like talking about safety through, you know, whether or not we have, you know, through does everybody have a gun? That's not how we get to safety. And in terms of how we get to fostering human family, it's not through what's correct, what's politically correct. That's never been where the left has been. That's been where patriarchal terrorists on the right have been dragging the conversation that should be happening from its placement to displacement in the gutter. Because it is political conscience. That's the conversation humanity has. That's what wokeness is about. Just enough to know like how to treat people well around me. If I have somebody in the neighborhood who has a dog that has like extreme sensitivity to noises, I don't do firecrackers on 4th of July by their house. I don't want to terrorize people because I'm awake enough to know how to treat my neighbors with the love I treat myself with. And so I guess the thing I'm asking of you, Elon, is that it's time for you to see you have treated the world as if you absolutely hate yourself. And you don't need to hate yourself. And we have love for you. You need to take the risk of being worthy of it. You need to take the risk, incel, instead of fomenting this nonsense of white erasure or white genocide. Like, what a silly boogeyman. When white fire has been the terrorist particle all along. No. If you have a fetish for really light skin like yours and you want to have, you know, if you want there to be another white person that looks like you, Elon, then the message for all of you incels having your mantrum is be likable and kind, and rather than a predator and liar and attacker and rapist and murderer, essentially. Be likable, be kind, be honest, be just, be woke. Like, be a kind human being. Be a human being so, like, nice, like actually nice, like kind. Not nice, like polite and, look at the propriety I have. Buddy, be kind. So that someone would want to be near you and touch you voluntarily, like they'd want to. They'd want to ask, hey, is it okay if I sit by you? In fact, I kind of want to hold your hand. Isn't that what you want before you lash out at society that a little boundary here and there is emotional blackmail, as if we want to throw you in a pit? Like, dude, don't lash out at the humanity that is willing to have a marriage of like relationship with you as a human being by like punishing before you allow yourself to be vulnerable and like let people just say, hey, yeah, okay, we'll figure out a way to do this. Like, wow, you have some hateful ideology there. We'd like to talk about that. Like, actually, some of that stuff we're just going to say is unacceptable and you're going to leave the platform now. Or if you're not, this is how. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to say our boundaries, because, yeah, you don't get to spread your cancer. You definitely don't get to spread your terroristic, neo-Nazi, patriarchal terrorist, white supremacist cancer, Elon. You have to leave that at the door when you come back to the table of humanity. Okay? I love you, and I hope you recognize that you are worth love. You're worth people taking the time, and you are worth, most of all, you are worth going into a room in the dark and being alone with your thoughts. Set an alarm for like 11 minutes. Give yourself a good 10 in there where because you have an alarm set. You don't need to worry about, am I doing this perfect? Am I there yet? Is it done? Because the thing's going to tell you. a little after 10 minutes, and just listen. Just start. Just start to listen to you. Please, Elon. Be woke to you, Elon. Please, buddy. Please. Please, Elon. Okay? Please, Elon. Please be woke to yourself. Treat yourself with the love that you would treat yourself with. Please treat yourself with love. Treat yourself with love. Don't rape yourself. Don't pillage yourself. Don't withhold from yourself. Don't molest yourself. Don't malign yourself. Don't starve yourself. Don't punish yourself. Don't cut yourself. Be kind, because you are one of your own kind. Please. Please, Elon.